Appreciate you joining us with that. And of course, joining us live via Zoom is Dr. Todd Burke. He's a former Maryland officer, as well as a criminologist, as well as a former Bradford professor. You have a lot of titles, sir. Good morning. How are you?
I'm doing great. Thank you.
So talk to us exactly when you saw the video. What went through your head when we saw the video of the department that the Memphis Police Department released?
Yeah, I saw, I think all four videos that were released, and I guess the number of the words that I could think of were outrage, troubling, upsetting, and unsettling.
And so, as a former police officer in Maryland, how significant is it to have that video, the body cam footage, as well as that lamp foot or the street light footage that we saw?
Yeah, videos are critical, and this is certainly wouldn't just be a Maryland issue.
Hmm.
This is probably a national concern about transparency and accountability. And when I was a police officer, we didn't have body cameras
Hmm.
at that time. So if I were a police officer, I would certainly want one. And the reason is that the body cameras often, while they don't get everything, they often kind of they follow through, if you will, with what the police are doing. They kind of let the public see what the police are doing, how they're acting, and almost always it supports the police and the police actions. But it's in cases like this that the body camera does just the opposite. In fact, it'll help the public understand when the police are doing something improper.
And so, in this case, when you saw the video, was there anything differently that could have been done to de-escalate that situation, to change the outcome?
Yeah, and that's a great question because it's all when the video starts. What we
Hmm.
don't know is what was going on prior to when the video started. So I think what you have to look at is the bigger picture,
Hmm.
less about the video and more about police procedures and how to, in effect, a traffic stop or, for that matter, any encounter with the public. But in situations like this, nobody should be losing their life as a result of a traffic stop, of any type of minor crime. So what happens is, police officers are often on edge anyway during a traffic stop. And I
Hmm.
know there have been studies indicating that while police traffic stops are dangerous, they're not quite as dangerous as we originally thought they were. I mean, with the millions of traffic stops that happen per year. But still, police are often on edge. And the reason is that I'll speak as a police
Yes,
officer, a
sir.
former police
Yes, sir.
officer, that once you get out of the car, you know who we are. We don't know who you are.
Hmm.
You could be the nicest person in the world or the person who's going to take our life.
And so, moving forward, though, I mean, a lot of folks are calling for police reform. Of course, we've seen this is not just, of course, across the states. What is the next step as far as moving forward as a society, do you think?
I think police reform is absolutely necessary,
Hmm.
but you have to understand it's not a one-shot thing and done.
Right.
It's something that has to be revisited all the time, and that's going to include training. It's going to include recruitment training in the police academy, but also in-service training in the classroom and on the streets. And I'm not just talking just traffic stops. I'm talking about police citizens encounters in general and how you're developing policies. And I'm a big fan of when you're doing policy, you have to have buy in from not only the police, but also from the public. So if you're going to create some type of policy that's going to affect the public, it
Hmm.
would be great to have public input.
All righty. Is there anything else you saw that caught your eye, just in general? We have 30 seconds left. Anything else that caught your eye when you saw this, or just the fact that we're at this again in America?
Yes. Well, again, what makes this so troubling is we're talking about a traffic stop where a young man, from what I was watching, was hit, punched, kicked, tased, pepper sprayed, had a police struck with a police baton,
Hmm.
and basically manhandled. And the question is, for what?
Gotcha. Gotcha. Well, sir, we do appreciate you joining us this morning on this Sunday morning. Dr. Tyre Burke, we appreciate you having you.